We're back at it, guys. Welcome to the channel. On today's video, we're going to actually celebrate my birthday. It is November 10th, 2018, and it is all Marines' birthdays. The Marine Corps was founded on November 10th in Ton Tavern in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So we're going to celebrate today a little different than we did last year. I'm going to share my military career with you guys. I'm going to talk about a little bit about how I grew up. I'm going to show you some pictures. 99% of these, nobody's ever seen. So it's a real treat for you guys. And then I'm also going to talk about my time in the Marines and some of the things I've been through, leaving out all the gory stuff. But yeah, welcome to the video, and sit back and hold on. Okay, guys, for the video today, we're gonna start back when I was a little youngster. If you guys didn't know this, I was born in Montana. I stayed there for a while until my dad got real sick. He actually got hurt while he was working, and we ended up having to move back to Pennsylvania. But to share some of Phillipsburg, Montana with you guys, here's some pictures. It's a picture of hay stacked up. My father worked for a company, and they did basically everything. You had to work with hay. They were loggers, they were cattlemen, they were horse drivers. Like, they had to race horses, use the horses to move the cattle, things like that. But yeah, that's in a nutshell Montana, a view of big sky country. Isn't that cool? So on our little piece of land, we had, a dozen horses or so. There was a couple guys that had houses in the area, and they would all come together. There was like a centrally located corral for all these horses. So my dad had 2 or 3 of these horses. Somebody else had 2 or 3, and everybody worked together. There is a helicopter shot of our house. We lived right there. And then there was like a little personal barn, and this corral that I'm showing you is, say a mile or so that way. But yeah, it's an aerial view of where we used to live. So this is a photo my mom took out the back window, I guess, showcasing some of the animals. There's some deer up on the edge of the woods there. This is a view of how it looked in the wintertime. It gets really cold in Montana. This is Granite County in Phillipsburg, Montana. This is the hospital I was born at, Granite County Hospital. I just Googled Earth this hospital not too long ago, and this hospital still has a dirt parking lot. There's about a dozen employees that are full-time employed here, and it's just a few rooms and some emergency things, and that's where I was born. My mom had me here. This is a photo of me when I was a baby. I came out almost 10 pounds. This is a photo of my dad holding me. Here's a photo of me a little older, visiting one of my grandparents. Of course, Christmas time. My dad promoting guns, obviously. There's a photo of all of us. I have an older sister, a younger brother, and that's me right there. Right there. Now, this photo I'm about to show you is at the time I didn't realize how important this photo was going to be to the latter part of my life. But as you'll see when you see this photo was from a trip that we went on early in senior year, and I'm on top of the Empire State Building taking a picture of the Twin Towers. Little did I know, later on that year, Twin Towers were attacked, and they are no longer to be seen. So I was in the delayed entry program. I signed up when I was 16. I graduated high school when I was 17, went to boot camp right after. So I was in boot camp at 17 years old. I was just a kid then. And, I'm out of the Marine Corps by 21. But certainly it was a big undertaking and a whole lot to take in for a young guy. I'm watching the Twin Towers fall in English class when I was a senior, already knowing that I was going, and basically telling myself we're going to war. So I was getting my mind prepared for the inevitable. But it all starts here. These are the famous yellow footprints at Parris Island, South Carolina. Every Marine steps on those footprints. Now, these doors have changed over the years. This is what they look like now. I was just talking with a buddy of mine who was in the Marine Corps in 1978, and these doors looked much different. But yeah, this is the entryway. It says, through these portals, past prospects for America's finest fighting force, the United States Marines. So they always cart you over there in the middle of the night. You step on the footprints, they yell at you, everybody gets in a line, and you walk through these doors. You don't realize how grand and luxurious they are until you're visiting the place afterwards. But these are the doors you walk through when you first go into the Marine Corps. So now we're going to fast forward a little bit because there's no cameras allowed in boot camp. This is me standing next to my bunk. Little tip and trick for you guys if you guys are going to go into the military. Once you make your bed, you get your hospital corners, you measure your rolls out, you measure your folds, you get everything straight and everything. You do not sleep on that. Inside it, I mean. You sleep on top of it. You use your poncho cover, your poncho liner for a blanket, and you do not remess your bed after you made it. In the morning, that way all you have to do is roll out of bed. You actually roll underneath your bed and tighten it up a little bit and then put your clothes on, and that helps you get ready a lot faster. So in the beginning of boot camp, you're always getting yelled at for not making your bed fast enough, and I could never figure out why, and that was why. You learn that later on in boot camp. But that's one of the tips for you guys. If any of you were joining the military, take that tip. This is Private Josh from the 570. But yeah, that's me at graduation for boot camp. See right there on my chest, I qualified expert with the rifle. The Marine Corps shoots out to 500 yards. This is Family Day, I believe it is. Graduation, one of those. March out on the big parade deck and receive your Eagle Globe and Anchor. Your Eagle Globe and Anchor is the symbol for the United States Marine Corps. And they hand you one, and instead of calling you recruit, they call you Marine from that day on. So leaving boot camp, I was a tanker. Tank school for the Marine Corps is in Fort Knox, Kentucky. That is a picture from inside one of the hangars next to an M1 Abrams tank. I look really young. This is a picture inside the tank. There's nothing classified in this little photo right here. The only thing that's classified is what's in that screen. When you look through that portal, you see the reticle and the firing mechanisms for the tank, and then all that is classified. So you're not allowed to take a picture of it, or even let's say like get a tattoo on your body of what it looks like. Technically, you're in violation of the law. But that there is a picture of the inside of the tank. So now in Fort Knox, where tank school is held, there's a division of tank school called GMD, I believe it was called. Basically, it's the field. Right before you leave, you take tanks up in the woods, and you throw them in holes big enough to swallow tanks, and you get them stuck. You practice recovery. You go through various different scenarios, and you basically prepare for the worst. And it's there to get you to work as a team. It's there to build you as a Marine and get you to basically learn your job. So there I am after we got one of the tanks stuck. So we're getting into this water. And the only way to get these tow hooks and chains hooked up to the tank is to actually dive underneath that mud. And that's what you look like when you come out. So awesome. Time of my life, I'm telling you. So there we are, graduating. I have PFC chevrons on there. So there we are, graduating from tank school. Look how young I look. And what do you do to celebrate? You get tattoos. So that's me. 17 years old, 18 years old, with a fresh tattoo. And you guys have seen that tattoo if you follow my channel. And for those Marines that are sitting there at the television right now wondering, where's your moto tat? Well, there's my moto tat. I got that on my right shoulder blade. So now, like I said, we were watching the Twin Towers fall. The war had just started. So we are, we're at 29 Palms, California right now, training to go overseas. So it's a little, this is all 29 Palms, California. It's very reminiscent of Iraq, so very, very similar conditions. So we have me getting ready for some live fire drills. Yeah, live ammo, real explosions, get you ready for war. Let's see. This picture's a little later. Okay, so first deployment. There's me on the left with a couple of buddies in my first deployment. Those of you in the Marine Corps can tell just from the camis what units and what generation that you're from. And they don't use these camis anymore. So it just goes to show you that I was there in the beginning of the war. Let's see here. Oh, this is a unique photo. Now, camels. Camels run free. Camels are like deer in Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran, Kuwait. They're pretty much everywhere. They just go wherever the hell they want. And so every now and then you'll see a group of camels, 50, 60 deep. And from time to time, you'll see one white camel. White camels are very rare. On this particular day, I don't know why. I don't know what made me look out there. But I saw, this is a group of all white camels. There was probably 15 or 20 white camels. And it's hard to tell from this photo with the light you guys are experiencing. But these are all white camels, and I had to capture this moment. So I ran out there, and a buddy took a picture of me standing in front of these camels, and it was a sight to see. And I knew I probably would never see this sight ever again, so I wanted to get a little piece of it. So this is me on my second deployment. See, now we're in the digital camos. See that? We were the last troops, as far as the Marine Corps goes, with the woodland and the desert camo, the way it was, and the first troops with the digital camo. So now this is a little good time. There's Mathis and another friend of ours from the Marine Corps. I want to say his name was Osnaya, but this is how we settled our beefs. You know, we were all men. We grew up fighting for our lives. And the way the Marine Corps handles themselves, if you and another guy have a problem with each other, you go to blows or you grapple, you wrestle with a set of rules, whatever the case may be. When it's over, your beef is done, you shake hands and you give each other a hug because you're still brothers at the end of this. And we'll put our lives on the line for each other. But if we don't see eye to eye, this is how we're going to see eye to eye. So these two had an issue, They agreed to mutual combat, and you go back to back, arms touching, fingertips touching, ready, set, go, and immediately it turns into this. Basically anything you see on MMA. I grew up in the real Marine Corps though, so like we didn't have any rules. Basically punches to the head, face, neck area was all legal. You just couldn't hit in the groin, and we would all stand there and make sure it went appropriate. And when it's done, one or both of you ended up looking like this, and you shook hands afterwards, and you're both better men for it. So that's a really good memory of Marines when they're trying to settle a dispute. But all right, now we'll go into let's see here. When you're overseas, you don't know when or if you're ever going to get attacked. So attacks sometimes happen in the middle of the night. Hence this photograph here is. So there's Corporal Zofkin at the time, Corporal 570, and this is like 2, 3 in the morning. You know, we get some fire, and you jump out of your rack, put your helmet and your flak jacket on, you grab your rifle, and you go seek cover. So you know, you got a lot of guys in their underwear or shorts and shirt and standing around waiting for the bullets to stop. So that's you know, you never can tell when it's going to happen. So that's a little something to show you guys. You always got to be prepared. Now, while I was overseas, I was the type of guy that I wanted to encourage everybody else to do good, and I started this initiative where, because when you're overseas, you're not really running like you were to stay in shape. You're not doing push-ups, pull-ups. So I kind of forced our platoon and started this initiative where we created a pull-up club. Now, this is me. Since I started the pull-up club, this is me completing my 3,000th pull-up. Now, I encouraged everybody to do pull-ups every day. They had 30 days to do 3,000 pull-ups, which doesn't seem like a lot. But when you're working nonstop, 12, 16-hour days, and trying to get this PT in, plus, I mean, you're in a war zone, so to worry about your family, shelter, hygiene, it's, you know, you're really tired after 30 days, so it's a difficult challenge. Now, because I started the thing, because I was basically one of those where you lead by example, I did, in 30 days, 11,266 pull-ups to basically set the bar and lead from the front and show everybody this is what can be done with determination. So when the Commandant of the Marine Corps made his rounds and came to our unit when we were in Taqadum, Iraq, my commanding officer pointed out the fact that Corporal Zofkin started this initiative. He's doing really good. The Commandant of the Marine Corps gave me this. General Michael W. Hagee. He was the commandant on my second deployment, and he presented me with this challenge coin, shook my hand and told me how good I was doing. And I'll never forget those words that he spoke to me. I will not repeat, but I'll never forget what he told me. And I don't carry this, but I carry the memory of not only what he told me, but the experiences I've been through with me forever. So I really appreciated this. This really means a lot. And those of you who had actually ever been given a real challenge coin knows what you use this for. So I won't get into that here, but this is my challenge coin. Okay, this is me returning from deployment. This is one of the balls, Marine Corps balls, and here we got a picture. We had a bunker on our base in Iraq, and myself, and this is Sergeant Stillwell, got on top of that bunker, and got up there for a photograph showing you, just memories. But it was an awesome time in my life. I wanted to wish all the Marines happy birthday. I wanted to celebrate all the veterans around the world because this is close to Veterans Day as well. So I wanted to wish all the veterans of the world health and prosperity. We want to keep each other in our hearts because we're all fighting for the same thing. And if you like this video and you want to see more of the same thing, if you guys want to talk to me about my time in the Marine Corps, give me a thumbs up and get this video to 50 likes, and I'll certainly do some more Marine Corps associated videos. But we'll check you next time. Thanks.